Hi guys, it's Miss Lee. I'm so glad you're here for our read aloud today. Yesterday, when you read, you focused on the characters and the setting of a story. Today, when you read, we're going to work on identifying the problem and the resolution of the story. And because we've been learning about animals and habitats, the story that I chose for today is Curious George at the Aquarium. So we're going to read this story today, and as I read, pay attention and see if you can identify what the problem is and what the resolution is in this story. So this is Curious George at the Aquarium by R.P. Anderson. Do you guys remember what this page is called? This is the cover, and then this is called the title page. Good. Okay. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George and the man with the yellow hat were visiting the aquarium. So just thinking about yesterday, what do you predict the setting of this story is going to be? "George," said the man, "please wait here while I buy the tickets." George tried to wait, but he was so excited. What was inside? He wanted to look over the walls, but they were too high. So George was really excited and he wants to see what's inside. Take a minute and make a prediction about what you think could happen next. What do you think George might do? Just then, he heard a splash and a whoosh. Water flew high into the air. People cheered. What could that be? George was curious. He hopped over the gate into the aquarium. How surprised he was! Did any of you guys predict that George would go into the aquarium even though the man with the yellow hat told him to wait? Swimming right in front of George were two beluga whales. The mother and baby beluga whales swam right past him. And not far away was a family of sea lions, diving and splashing. What fun! George noticed people walking toward a big door. Could there be more to see? He followed the crowd. Where do you think the people in the crowd are going to go? Now where was he? It was darker inside and there were fish everywhere. George did not know where to look first. In one tank there were sharp-toothed piranhas. In another tank there were seahorses. And in another tank there was a large red octopus. Have you ever been to the aquarium before? If you have, you can leave me a message in the comments down below about what your favorite animal was that you saw at the aquarium. If you haven't been to the aquarium, maybe tell about a zoo animal that you've seen or an animal you've read about that you would really like to go see. George saw a group of children across the room. An aquarium staff member was pointing to different sea creatures. This is a starfish, this is a clam, and this is an urchin. Nearby, there was a long, low, colorful tank. It was perfect for touching. George was curious. You might say George was an inquirer. As he reached his hand into the water, a large crab came scuttling out from under a rock and right toward his finger. Snap! Ouch! Poor George. He did not like this exhibit. So I just want to think, at the beginning of the story, what did the man in the yellow hat tell George to do? Did he tell George to wait? And George did not wait, so I'm just wondering out loud what the man with the yellow hat is doing right now, because George is not where he's supposed to be. George slipped out a door into the sunlight, but oh, what was going on here? George saw a fat, funny-looking black and white fish under the water. As he watched, they flew up out of the water. What kind of fish does that? And where did they go? George wondered. Look at that picture. George thinks these are fish. Do you know what they are? They look like penguins to me. George climbed up and into their exhibit. Oh no, the monkey is in the penguin exhibit. What do you guys think might happen? Make a prediction. What do you think will happen next? They were not fish at all, but penguins, of course. George hopped like a penguin, flapped his wings like a penguin, and waddled like a penguin. A crowd gathered and laughed, but when he slid on his belly like a penguin... Oh, now I want you guys to look right here at those 3 periods. We call those ellipses, and that means that the sentence isn't finished yet. So let's read this again and see if we can predict what we think is going to happen. A crowd gathered and laughed, but when he slid on his belly like a penguin, what do you think is going to happen? I don't know. The aquarium staff stopped by to check on the penguins. A monkey in the penguin exhibit? George opened a door to escape, but instead, all the penguins ran out. Penguins, penguins everywhere. Oh dear, I wonder if this could be the problem of the story. All of the penguins are supposed to be safe inside their exhibit, and now they're out. I wonder what could happen. The staff was angry at George. How could they catch all the penguins? So we know what the problem of our story is. The problem is George let all of the penguins out of the exhibit. So now let's make a prediction and think, I wonder what the resolution is going to be. I wonder how they're going to solve this problem. In all the excitement, nobody noticed the penguin chick falling into the water. No one but George. Oh no, is there an even bigger problem? The poor penguin chick in the water. The baby penguin hadn't learned to swim yet. As only a monkey can, George scaled the rope hanging over the beluga tank and swung over the water, saving the chick. Oh, it's a good thing George was paying attention to the penguin exhibit. Everyone else was so angry they didn't notice. The director of the aquarium and the man with the yellow hat heard the commotion and came running. That monkey helped the baby penguin, said a boy in the crowd. No one else could have saved him, said a girl. The director thanked George for his help and made him an honorary staff member of the aquarium. So the main problem of the story was the poor baby penguin that fell in the water and didn't know how to swim. And so I want you to think about what the resolution was and how that was solved. George said goodbye to his new penguin friends. He could not wait to come back to the aquarium and visit them again. Well, it looks like they got all the penguins back in where they're supposed to be. So that's good. So they solved that problem too. Well, I really like this story because I really like Curious George because he's so curious and he just wants to learn about everything. And it might get him in some trouble sometimes, but I think it's really, really important that we are inquirers and that we take initiative of our own learning, and that we are always trying to find things out and ask questions. And that's why I really like George. So now what I want you to do, now that we've finished the story, is go back to your Google Classroom assignments and click on the link for Seesaw, and that's going to take you to an activity where you can draw or write about the problem and resolution of this story. You can also do a voice recording, whatever you'd like to do, but go online and tell me the problem and resolution. Thank you so much for reading with me today. I really enjoyed it. I miss you guys so much, and I hope you're having a wonderful time with Huff e-learning. Bye!